Good morning. And that went faster than I thought it would. That was a fast countdown. I was not ready.
We made it back already.
Um, good morning, Jimmy. How you doing?
Morning. I'm good.
This is
It's
DadSchooled
Christmas season. That's the best. Yeah.
fail bunch. No, it's okay. I set myself up for that one. I started talking to you first. This is DadSchooled.podcast.com. And I am Josh. This is Jimmy, as I've said 3 times now. Jimmy, 4 times. And we're here to talk about dad stuff. That's a good one, right?
That's what we do best.
Dad stuff.
Huh? Yeah.
We're all about the dad stuff. Well, last week we talked about here's a good homework for Jimmy. Jimmy, what did we talk about last week?
Temptation.
Oh man, you're tempted not to say the right answer, but I saw you pulled through there. So in the same path, the same not genre, but kind of the same genre. I thought we'd talk about something similar today of whenever oh man, my words are failing me already, Jimmy. Whenever you are feeling overwhelmed as a dad, right? Whenever you're feeling like you're just doing a lot and you keep on going and you're like, yeah, I'm a guy, I keep on going, can't complain, blah 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 blah. Insert dominant male talk here. We gotta talk about those things. Like, let's talk about feelings today, Jimmy.
I'm here for it.
We're here for it. Okay. So, do you ever feel guilty for resting?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. That's good. Okay. Do you ever? This is gonna be 20 questions for you today. Sorry. Not sorry. Do you ever sit down on a couch and right when you sit down and you're like, or on the floor, if you sit on the floor, I'm not sure if you do that. And then there's nothing going on around you and you use a moment of peace and you just sit there for half a second. And then you, someone else walks in the room and you feel like, oh, I should be doing something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That feeling comes up. Like you're one of my things is I end up having a tendency of saying yes to a lot and putting a lot on my own plate, even and a lot of the things can be things that are necessary, things that need to get done, things that should be getting done. But then I'll say yes to things that have absolutely no relevancy to really what's going on in our home or whatever, and but are just a time suck. And so then after I do all the things that need to be getting done, just keeping the house in order, doing my part in the home, and then I still have a pile of things to do. And so then, yeah, like other people around, I'm like, I said I was going to get such and such done, and I still haven't even gotten to it. And there's times where like resentment can creep in when you see everyone else sitting on couch and you are not on couch. That's my thing, is I'll say yes to more than what I should. And I'm like, I just want to rest too. But I've done it to myself. I've put myself in that, I've painted myself in a corner, so to speak. Projects around the house or just I will rabbit hole on something where I just spend way too much time on one task and then everything else is a mad scramble to try to like get caught up. But I said I would get it done, so I need to get it done. So yeah, sometimes rest is elusive.
I had a space heater down here and my ankles are sweating. This is crazy.
Oh,
it was cold down here, and then I turned that on. I closed my door. Not a good idea.
Nobody likes a sweaty ankle.
No, sweaty ankles are bad. I didn't know ankles could sweat. That was weird. I moved my foot and it's like it's peeled off like it was not good. Like matted hair and everything. What's your definition of lazy? Keeping us back on task here. What's your definition of lazy for your own personal definition? Like if someone says, Jimmy, you're lazy. What is that? What is
I
that?
feel that's when you have responsibilities that just get pushed off, and not. I feel like laziness oftentimes for me would be if I was not only pushing off things that need to get done by doing something else, because that's what I tend to do, is I'll procrastinate by doing something else instead of doing what I'm supposed to do, but I'm still active. I'm still like productive in a way. I feel like lazy is when you just do absolutely nothing productive. Like
Mm-hmm.
you might be moving, you might have some movement and muscle activity, but when there's no productivity in anything, I feel like could be lazy.
Yeah, it's
I'm probably
interesting. Your definition. I can hear a common theme with you. You struggle with pushing things off. You struggle with having a lot of things on your plate and just kicking the can down the road, right? That's what you feel like, at
Oh, I
least.
was the kid in high school that like wrote all my papers the night before because I convinced
What kid
myself.
wasn't though?
Well, I convinced myself like I do my best work when it's the middle of the night and I'm stressed,
Yes.
and then I
Getting that
read the
poster
paper
board
at the
out
end.
at
I'm like,
11 p.m. and you're like, I
and I
got
look
this.
at it and I go, "Oh yeah, I did good. Look at that. That's pretty good
Yeah,
right there."
I've
And
earned
then
my
I
rest
hear
tonight.
and then I'll hear all the other students' papers or see their projects that they like spent weeks on. I'm like, "Oh man, dang, mine's really terrible." I thought I did
I've
good.
been there,
Not so
man.
much.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
thinking I was amazing. Like I nailed this project. I'm sitting there with poster board in my room, color pencils, the glue stick, everything. I was going all out on this thing, and got to the next day of school to turn this in, and I really only looked at like the first bullet point on the list of things you had to have on the assignment. I didn't even do anything else. And everyone has these presentations with papers and everything else to go with it, like syllabus. And I was just like, look at this drawing I made before I went to sleep last night. Yeah, I feel that. The reason I say all that it's interesting because your definition of lazy, kicking things down the road, whatnot, it's not the actual like dictionary definition.
Ooh,
Yeah,
enlighten me.
I might have pulled that up while you're talking, and it's basically unwilling to work or use energy. That's all it is.
Huh.
Yeah, but it's interesting that we project our own things on top of that, don't we? Like as guys, as dads, I'm gonna take a step back and say just guys in general. Women can do it too. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna get in that. This show's not about that. Guys and dads, um, you definitely um guys are supposed to be hard workers, right? So I think the first thing we go toward whenever we hear someone saying you're being lazy or when you're trying to define lazy, for instance, is you go toward your most insecure thing that you're worried about. That's my hypothesis here.
Hmm.
Because when someone says don't be lazy to me, I I go to like freeloading. I have a big thing like I'm really sensitive of I don't want to appear like I'm freeloading off somebody. And I don't think I have a problem with that, but it is like my mind instantly goes there. Someone says, "Don't be lazy." I think of people who are lazy and don't do work and still get what I get. I guess maybe I'm just mad about that, so that's why I think about that.
Hmm.
So there you go.
There's some
That was
resentment or yeah.
a
Yeah.
fun experiment, huh?
Yeah.
So, do you know how to slow down, Jimmy? Like, do you legit know the steps that you need to take for yourself to like take a break? Like, is it possible? First of all.
That's such a good question because I don't know an answer.
You don't know. You don't
I
even know.
should
You don't know the
I
answer to
should
that
slow
either.
down.
Probably
I
not.
should slow down and think about this.
Okay. 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 So I guess if you've ever had these thoughts like I feel like I need to slow down. I feel like I'm exhausted. But you feel guilty for saying that. And you don't know you can't say that to anybody. Buckle up. This episode's for you. Okay. That's all one heck of an intro we just did there.
I'm ready.
So, but burnout doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen all of a sudden with a project. Like you might be in a stressful project or situation or conversation, and you're all of a sudden like, I'm burnt out. It doesn't happen like that. And actually, there's things that compound on top of things. So why do you think dads equate resting with laziness? Like, why do you think if a dad, maybe, if I will, Jimmy, the stereotypical sitting on a couch, watching a game with a beer in your hand, the wife sitting there trying to cook something or vacuum or holding the baby in the arm, walking around, like in that Hollywood picture we see.
Yeah, it makes me think of like Archie Bunker and All in the
Yeah.
Family. I don't know if you ever saw that show, but
Mhm.
that was like the stereotype of Archie was always in his armchair. And yeah, I think there's like a lot of sitcom dads after the fact. Like that's just kind of like the role they plays. Like that's, you know, that's dad's chair. And when dad gets off work, he's just in chair, like you said, with cold beverage in hand. Yeah, I think a lot of dads these days, myself included, we have this kind of ground into our minds of, you know, you're the producer, you're the supplier for your family, and so taking a moment to stop and a moment to rest, or you know, that then you're not, like I was saying earlier, you're not being productive, you're not producing, so you're not being a good man, you're not being a providing husband or providing father if you're not actually doing something. So stopping to rest produces nothing for like actual pay or what your family needs to survive. So I think that's where a lot of that can stem from.
Okay. Yeah. See, I immediately, you went to Archie. I go to Terminator 2. Terminator
Almost the
2.
same story.
Almost. They're very close. Yes.
Uh-huh.
But the dad, the stepdad, before he was taken out by a psychopathic Terminator, the stepdad was sitting on the couch and he's like trying to watch the game with a beer in his hand, like I said before. And the his wife is like, hey, his room is not clean yet. Can you help out? And he's like, well, if it's that important, you know, he's all like being indignant and rude. And that's just my mind goes to that. And it's like, what a lazy sack of human, right? But he got his in the end, I guess, in the movie, so it's okay.
Moral of the story.
Yeah, don't be lazy, or a gigantic time traveling Terminator will come back yeah. Okay, moving on. So where does that guilt come from to slow down? Do you think, like, is it the standard projection that we have whenever, like, we know we have a task we're supposed to do, and we see our spouse doing it, and we're like, crap. And then we get mad, you know. Everyone does that. You get mad at them, like, why are you doing that? I was gonna do it. You know, and they're like, well, why were you sitting there? You know. So I guess that's kind of a rhetorical question. But I think that's where it comes from, for me at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the times that like really like kind of stick out when you like you have your list of things like, okay, I said I'll get to this and this and this, and then you see your spouse pick up one of those items and start doing it. And you're like, oh no, look, I'm working hard. I said I'd get to it, and then you end up being resentful. But sometimes they're just genuinely like, oh, I just want to like help you, and I'm on your team. But
Right.
then like I get resentful or angry because I'm not the one doing thing, even though I've been going for hours. And if she steps in to help, then I could be done sooner. Then I'm like, no, I said, and like it like somehow hurts my feelings when she wants to help or be part
Yeah.
of whatever I'm doing.
I can't tell you how many times I feel like I've ruined the night, or ruined, like, not the night, just like the entire day with my response to that very situation. Like,
Mm.
if my wife wants me to do something, or I've told her I do something, that's another thing. If I told her I do something, and then she's a person that she walks past something, she can't just leave it there. Like me, I can walk around the house all blissful, happy, skipping, if you will, right? And I don't bother me. I walk past things,
Skip.
but she can't. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy and I could be skipping, holding hands around the household with fires on the walls and like couches upturned, kids in mess, and we're fine because we're living our best life.
Impressive.
Yes. But my wife can't. I don't think your wife can. So they start doing something, and that's where I get myself in trouble. Is my response to that? I will be more harsh than I should have been. I shouldn't have been harsh at all, actually. But I would be annoyed that they're almost calling me out, and it feels like they're calling me out of being lazy. That's how I take it,
Mm,
or I'm not pulling my own weight, and that hurts, and I don't like that because I like to, I like to provide for my family.
mhm.
So I don't like doing dishes, right? I hate doing dishes, to be honest. But I've taken that mantra on in my house. My kids, I love them to someday step up and take that over. They haven't yet. Like they and empty it if I tell them to enough times. Um, Loading, not so much. And to be honest, if I had them loading it, I'd probably be annoyed at how they loaded it too. So
Oh,
I'm working.
that's a thing for me. Like,
Yeah, like
I'm a
they'll be.
whiz at loading the dishwasher with everything. I can get it all in there, but it's got to be just so.
Yeah,
And like, oh yeah, yeah,
and we don't melt things either. Like when we put something in
that's
there,
true.
it comes out the same shape it went in. Okay, when
It's
other
an
people put
important
things in,
skill.
they're like, "Oh, this Tupperware bottom shelf." I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
this plastic spoon bottom shelf. No, it goes in the top shelf."
Yeah.
But with all that being said, um, my response and our response as dads slash husbands slash guys should be one of gratitude. Oh, that's a 180 from what it usually is, right? When someone's trying to help us. Now, I'm not discounting the fact that if someone comes to you and is doing something and is snarky about it, and they're trying to pick a fight, that's a little more difficult. But I mean, you should still respond the same way. You should still respond with gratitude, and that's it. Thanks for helping. I'm sorry I didn't get to that. If you really feel like you have to apologize and you feel guilty about it, I'm sorry I didn't get to that. Thanks for helping out. You know, what else can I do to help? Ding. Big smile, little ding sound in the background, white teeth. But yelling at your spouse or kid or whoever is doing the thing that you should have been doing, or that you feel you should have been doing, I guess. That's not the way to go. That's kind of the call I want to make here is you should watch. Oh, man, I'm gonna say it again. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. There it is.
Is that
Yep,
our motto on the show,
my
basically?
motto.
There you go.
But in general, back to the whole theme of today, rest, if you will. I mean, it's biblical. You're waiting for that time, and I know some of you out there are waiting. It's there. It's always there. Seventh day, God rested. Boom. That's a big one you can just say and walk away from, right?
Mhm.
Now, doing the dishes and vacuuming is not the same as creating the whole universe. I'll give you that one. So you shouldn't be like vacuum the one room, rest for the seventh day, and you rest for a whole day. Maybe you should do a little more, like the dishes
Yeah.
or the clothes.
Yeah.
But it is biblical. There's lots of verses. I mean, that's the thing. I could cherry pick the tar out of this, and I actually had a lot of things lined up, and I deleted them because I felt like it was too much cherry picking of different situations without going into the verse context. But the overarching theme, God wants us to rest. Like He wants us to
Mhm.
work diligently, be responsible, you know, do what we say we're going to do, be keepers of our word, but rest. He wants us to rest and recharge. Like it's in there.
Well, and I think we oftentimes end up equating the concept of rest means like not getting out of bed or sitting on couch and having zero bodily activity at all. That's what rest means. But rest, I mean, it's something that I've wrestled back and forth with from time to time. I think rest could just be um, getting away from the mundane or what's typical, what's normal, and all of your responsibilities, but staying plugged in with your family still. Rest doesn't mean you have to like go into your little hobbit hole and stay away from everyone else and be completely on your own. Like getting out and going on a hike for me, that's restful. Like getting out in nature, and then if I get to have my family with me, Like, I'm not tackling any of my daily responsibilities. We're not running to this extracurricular activity or that one. I mean, that's my
Yes.
Monday gig. After we're done here, my Monday gig is family taxi. Like, we're here, there, we're everywhere, doing all the school things. For me, rest is like, it could be me on my own, but for me, it's the best when it's all four of us, and we go do something enjoyable. We're gonna go see a movie this weekend. That's restful for me. I'm at a place, I'm doing a thing, but to me, that's still rest, and it's the most enjoyable whenever I get to share it with my family or someone else.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. I think while you were saying all that, I was thinking about me as usual. As weird as that sounds pretty conceited, actually. No, I was like, how does that apply to me? And like, what do I consider rest? And I honestly think in my job, like Monday through Friday, I manage a team, and I have people at work asking me questions all the time. Every single moment of the day, people are messaging me for a meeting. They're emailing me. They're looking for my input. They want me to make a choice. And I don't mind that. You know, I like that. And I've gotten used to it, I guess I should say. And I enjoy having that authority. You know, I value it. I think it's really a powerful thing to be able to contribute to a company and have that. Um, but here's the problem: like, I get that all day long, 9 hours plus a day, and then I leave that situation and come to my family. I work at home, so I just walk outside my office door here, and I'm home, no commute. But then there's also like, sometimes I don't want to make the choice. I don't want to make choices sometimes, and that might sound lazy to some people, but a restful day to me is not having to tell somebody what I'm doing, not having to decide what we're doing, and not having to commit to anything, just to exist. And that might sound like the epitome of laziness. Like,
I don't know. Sometimes that's a pretty heavy lift sometimes.
it is like, I just want to be. And it's like, I don't know, it sounds bad, and I've been saying this for years, and it sounds terrible, but like, for my birthday, it's coming up, my birthday's coming up, or any kind of like Father's Day, any kind of event, it's like, Josh, this is your special day. What do you want to do? And I'm like, nothing. I don't want to do a single thing. What should we do? I was like, get in a car and drive. Where? I don't care. I'll be home. And that sounds bad. Like, I should want to be with my family, and I do want to be with my family. But sometimes you just want that pause. You want to exist. And if I want to be selfish and eat cereal all day in my pajamas and watch a Star Wars movie all day, all the Star Wars movies, that sounds like fun. But you know what? I almost feel like I'm judged when I want to do that kind of stuff, even though people aren't. They're like, oh, that's great. It's his special day. He can do what he wants, right? But just like people seeing that, I don't know, I get guilty really fast. So with all that in mind, I know I overshared there a bit. Sorry, Jimmy. With all that in mind, I have Josh's 7 proven warning signs that you're about ready to be burnt out. Okay. Ooh. Are you ready, Jimmy? I want you to tell me how many of these that you check off the list. Okay.
Okay. 7 warning signs that you're about to be burnt out or are burnt out.
Yes. For clarity's sake, yes. You're always tired, even after sleeping. That's point number 1. Always tired, no matter what.
Okay. I think I just need a new mattress, but I feel that one.
Okay. Here, number 2.
Okay.
Small things trigger big reactions. What do you mean, take the trash out? I don't know. Example.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 3 of Josh's 7 warning signs of burnout. You feel detached or numb.
Ooh.
I know I can feel it out there. One of our many viewers just felt that one.
I felt the weight of the whole world just suddenly.
Jimmy's mom is like, oh, that one hits hard. Okay. Number 4. You escape into screens or technology, work, or just noise to escape reality. Oh, who doesn't do that nowadays, right?
Mm.
I know I do. What about being here? Here's number what number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5. I didn't number these. They're bullet points. It's hard to count those. You are productive but not joyful. Oh man, have you ever had those people? Like,
well, I am that person oftentimes when I'm getting things done, but I'm grumpy. I'm there.
I'm being so productive though, but everyone hates me.
Yeah, that's the leave me alone. Get off my lawn.
You know what? It's actually a weird
old man.
It's a weird default for me. Whenever I'm upset, or especially, and this is oversharing once again, when my wife and I have a little bit of a tiffle, a truffle. I don't know what that means. Eating? No, we're having a disagreement. Truffle, bit of a truffle. Whenever we're having a disagreement, my default reaction is to work. As weird as that is, like I'll immediately go do something like the dishes, or I'll start cleaning something, or I'll go downstairs in my office, and this probably was bad appearance for her on me, but I'll go to my office, I'll start working on some code or something for a client. Like I'll start working, and I'll be angry and mad, and I'll just be working, and that's just my default reaction, is to go work and do something. So that one actually hits hard for me. Like, I'm productive but not joyful, because there's no joy when I'm doing that. I remember that, like, dishes, I'm associating dishes with anger, because I usually just go start doing dishes and cleaning the counter up whenever I'm upset. So here's number
I'll
6.
show you by making the house better.
Yeah, you're mad at me for the house being a mess. I'll show you. I'll clean it. There. You feel irritable. Number 6 of Josh's 7 warning signs about burnout. You feel irritable at home, but fine elsewhere. Ooh.
Huh.
Are you happy at work, like joking with the guys, and you come home, and then all of a sudden it's like, ugh. I will overshare once again. I've had stressful times in my life, and this is honestly before I was saved. I'll be completely honest. The most stressful times in my life was right before I was saved. I was coming home from work, working, 8, 9-hour job, and then having a half hour, 45-minute commute each way. It stacked a lot of time and travel and away from the house. I had newer, like 2 or 3-year-old twin girls at the time, and a 5-ish, maybe, oldest son. My youngest wasn't even born yet. Super stressful, like always something going on. Wife was running a very successful business. She was always busy, legitimately, like she was a very hard worker. I'm very proud of her. But I'd come home and I'd do that stereotypical pause in the driveway of like 5-10 minutes.
I was just about to bring that up. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd be sitting in there listening to my book on tape of something. Usually at that time, my books on tape were action adventure, and it'd take me further away from reality, and I'd be into it, and being into it's no excuse for what I was doing. I was sitting there hiding in my driveway, not because I hated my wife or my life or my kids. I was stressed. Like, I'd come home from a long day of work. I know what's waiting for me. I come in the door. I know it's going to be nonstop until bedtime, and even then, yeah, it's just going to be nonstop. And it was a way of hiding. So that's maybe that's Josh's patented 8th warning sign about burnout. Cool. Even though we haven't hit 7 yet. But that just came on my mind when I was saying these things. And then number 7, I guess, before we get to 8.
The actual number 7.
Yeah. On number 7. You give leftovers to your family. Now, I know Jimmy's looking at that like leftovers, like turkey.
I love leftovers.
Yeah. Not leftovers I'm talking about, Jimmy.
Not that.
Okay? I know you're hungry, but we're not talking about
metaphorical.
Food. Metaphorical leftovers, yeah. The leftover part.
Not as delicious.
Not as delicious. That's right. Definitely not as delicious. A little more tough and chewy, actually.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, when you're giving less of yourself to your family than you are to everything else, that might hit hard for some people. Like, when you come home, I mean, it ties into number 8, but it's not number 8 because number 8's different. If you're not giving everything to your family, like, I don't know what you're doing. You're not doing the right thing. And that's a warning sign.
The ones that like have absolutely resonated with me at different, I can pinpoint different periods in my life. I mean, we're at 20 years of marriage now. We've had kids for 14 years. And the ones that like really sink in are the one with the car, like when things when things have been absolutely bonkers outside of the home, and then whenever you get home and you know that you have more responsibility, like that's when I know I've hit burnout. And it's like I just escaped one level of responsibility and there's more inside that building, but here in the car, yeah, it's me and music or
I control this area
or whatever. Yeah, you're in like this like little protective shell and you're like, I don't want to leave this space. That's when I know I've hit burnout. That one in particular. And then the giving the leftovers to your family. Like you give and give and give outside of the home or whatever other responsibilities are going on. And then your family's just getting just scraps. And you can tell your kids are just like, I miss you, Dad. You know, like when you start hearing that from your kids, that's heartbreaking. When you get done working a 10 or 12-hour shift, like my last like big jobby job that I worked, and I was working my last like real big jobby job, and yeah, I was working crazy stupid hours and driving all over the place, put so many stinking miles on the car. And yeah, and by the time I'd get home, I would just be a lump on the floor. Like I was just absolutely wasted. And my kids could not wait for me to be home because they missed me. And I had nothing to give. And they were absolutely getting leftovers. And yeah, felt so guilty for that. 100% burnout. And thankfully God provided a way out from that situation. But yeah, I mean, those are times that I think I was able to grow and learn from those. But I'm glad that I didn't stay stuck in that state because that was a miserable place.
Yeah. Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And that is especially true. Everyone's heard the phrase. I'm probably messed it up because I didn't think about this phrase before I brought it up. Like your first reaction or first thing you say or first thing you think of is like the default. Like is it actually from your heart? And that's true, I think, for the most part, unless you're completely uneducated, you can't think very fast. It's not true. But you need to make sure you are looking for these signs. You are cognizant, conscious, aware. Let's go with aware. That's a good word. You're aware of these different things that we just mentioned, these 8 patented warning signs of burnout. And if you identify with any of these, if you checked any of these off your list, and if you have more than 0 as your scorecard for this, then you probably need to understand what to do next, right? Like we probably just scared you, and you're a dad and or a person. You can be a person, you can be a non-dad and hear this list and have the same reaction. I don't think this is just for dads, but what do you do with this, Jimmy? Like, where do we turn? What's the answer? Because people are probably looking for answers. We got them on the edge of their seats right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you touched on earlier that rest is a biblical. I mean, there's a precedent that's been set at the very beginning, the very foundation of all things. That was part of that foundation that was built was, God spent 6 days being pretty productive. I mean, he did some things for for 6 days.
Universe,
created every known thing ever. He did some stuff, and then he took time off. Yeah. Like, it's easy to gloss over that, but that's I think that precedent that is set makes a lot of sense. That we were created to also be productive, to give of ourselves to our community, to our family, to our work, whatever God has gifted us with, whatever skills, um, whatever knowledge, whatever ability, we're to use that to benefit our community, to benefit others, to provide for our families, and then take some time to recuperate your energy, recuperate your sanity. um, do that for yourself, do that for your family. Um, and the times that I've done it the best, because I'm not always best, um, then on the back end of it, and you're getting back into routine again the next week, or whenever you get that break, like whenever I have a nice vacation away from everything, when I get back into it, I'm like, oh yeah, like definitely feel that I'm recharged. I have a new perspective or just new outlook and ready to attack things with a new vigor. Like that actually rings true for me whenever I take a legitimate break, and then get back to it. Like I'm ready to go. But there's so many times where I convince myself like I don't have time. I don't have time to rest. I don't have time to take a break.
Mhm.
And the new week rolls around, or the new set of priorities rolls back around, and it's just right back to the grindstone. And you look back and you're like, oh, I've been so productive. Look at how I've done. But man, it doesn't feel as there's not as much joy in it.
Yeah. Your family's on fire behind you and you have all this work done. Good job.
Yeah. Look at my completed pile. Aren't you proud of me, everyone?
So from a practical standpoint, like I know there's people out there being like, that all sounds good and great. And you've identified everywhere in my life that's terrible. And they probably can't disagree
You're
with
welcome.
us. Yeah. But from a practical side, like not everyone can just step away and take a vacation, right? Not everyone can drop what they're doing and change everything. I think this is more about a changing of perception and a changing of heart. Like most things in life aren't about actually doing something physically. It's about looking at them a different way as well, I think. Um,
Okay.
so if you're going through your day, and let's just say you're having these anxiety moments of just being stressed, you're having no time, your family is on the back burner, like I think that's you can take a step back and you can just look at that and change where your priorities are in a sense. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is someone saying, "Oh, I have bills to pay. I got to work. If I don't work, my family, I'm providing for my family. Fill in the blank, right? I got to work, and that's why I'm so disconnected. That's why this and that. Yes, but okay, you can work hard. You can be that provider and still put them first up front. It sounds really weird because, like, I know by providing for them, you're putting them up front. I get that. But you have to think about their perception of you as well. Now, you can probably go on both sides of this and counteract everything I'm saying with whatever witty logic you want to use. I get it. But if you were to say, if I were to tell somebody your kids and your wife are watching you work your life away and not give them time,
Mhm.
you could easily say, I'm doing this for them so they have something, right? But then you pull the heartstring maneuver and you're like, yeah, but like they want to spend time with you. And every time you're at work, every phone call you take, every meeting you're in overtime, every time you're late coming home, that's time stolen from your family that they'll never get back. And they will look at
Yeah.
that and they will think, man, dad thinks that's more important than us. Okay. Now, your
Mhm.
family might be on the page with you already. You're probably thinking, oh, they understand I'm working for them. I don't think they do. I'm going to go on a little lifeline here and say that your wife waiting for you to come home and help with something because she's been dealing with whatever, fill in the blank. I don't know the situation of anybody. I'm just assuming. Um, but she could really use your help and to be a present husband. That's our job, right? Regardless of what you did all day, that's what you need to do. That should be your priority because people heard this all the time too. Works and careers come and go. In the end, once you're done with your career, like you still have a family there, but you might not if you treat them like dirt, right?
Right.
Like if
Yeah.
you treat them like dirt and you treat them like they are second place to everything else in your life, they're not going to be there when you finish your race and you're complete and you're like, I finally completed whatever I needed to get done, and you are 70 years old, you're alone. There's a stark reality that a lot of guys face. I feel I've heard the situation countless times. So like, once again, thanks for the negativity, Josh. But what do you do? What can we do, Jimmy? I think we need to talk about what we can do. And
I mean, every this sounds so cliche because it's that simple. It sounds like the end of a Hallmark movie. Every day is a new chance to start again. And I mean, I mean, how cliche and dumb it sounds to say it, but it's so stinking true. Because there's so many times that I've looked back and I know that I've, robbed opportunity from my family, that, there's days that I've missed. There's times that like you were saying a second ago, it's, there's things that have gone on in the household, things that have gone on in the family, time that I miss that I won't ever get back. And I end up like that, like guilt will weigh on me. And then I end up escaping into doing more other things because I feel guilty or ashamed, and I don't embrace my family and move forward with them. I just like put my head down in shame and still stay away, which is the last thing that I actually am wanting to be doing. And that's the last thing that they want. They want me around. They want me to be part of what's going on. They want me engaged and present. But like I said, every day is a new chance to do it different, to take things in a different direction, and you get another swing at it. And so reminding myself of that, like, okay, yeah, yesterday I messed up I procrastinated on this too long or whatever. And so now I was busy with doing all the things yesterday, missed out on said family activity or whatever is going on. Tomorrow I can try again. And not do the sulking head down, feeling sorry for myself thing. And because that's not productive for anybody, for myself or them.
right. And I want to take a half a step back and think about, like, in scripture, what's a common theme we see? Like, we don't see people charging forward, working till they're dead. Maybe probably an exact verse like that. And he charged forward and worked till he dieth. Dang it! No, we don't see that as a common theme. What we see is, like, what is more expected is to pause, be in prayer, prayerfully consider what you're doing, and I think that's really a call out to aligning oneself with what God is wanting us to do. It's aligning us with His purpose and His expectations of us, because when we do that, we're walking with God. When we're and this is kind of in our Sunday school class, life group class yesterday, it was doing things immediately for yourself, and that it might be a slightly different context, but I think it still strikes true for yourself. For me right now, doing work, I think that's the most important thing, but is that God's plan? I'm not talking and not going to get down the rabbit hole of predestination or whatnot here, but like, there is a clear example written in scripture for us to follow. Rest on the seventh day. The Sabbath is holy for a reason. It's to pause life and honor God. So I think that's something really we shouldn't ignore. That everything that we see in the Bible, everything we see is an example to us. It's written there to explain something to us. And like us dads, we are supposed to be examples to our kids and our family, supposed to lead our families through all times of life, right? And that includes rest. That includes modeling the correct way to balance your life. And that's probably a big like self-check you should do. Like, are you modeling similar to what the Bible is modeling in how we should act in situations? Are we rushing around? Are we doing things crazy? Are we you shouldn't, the Bible never says prioritize family and or prioritize work over family. It constantly points people to God and to following God's, path for us, not following Josh's path for Josh, or Jimmy's path for Josh, or Jimmy's path
Yeah.
for Jimmy. It doesn't. It points differently. So we need to keep that in mind. And that's I think that's like the starting place. I was gonna say a different starting place, but I started thinking about that as we're talking. I think that's probably where you should start. Always, right? Prayerfully consider what you're doing. Not use a standard answer of I'm going to pray about it and then tell people no because you don't want to do something. No, I'm talking definitely pause. Prayer. Take a minute and think about what's going on. I think once you do that and you actually quiet the noise down in your life, turn the music off, turn the movies off, and listen to Scripture, I think that will help most people align themselves correctly where the priority should be. Like we talked about a lot of hard things today of, feeling guilty about this and that and rest and not feeling like you're, you can get away and stop and do anything. And I understand that up front looks like we're just listing off things wrong with people. But in all honesty, like if you do pause and it's a self-alignment, you pause, you get into Scripture, you find that time every day, or even like if you don't have a day, like you said, tomorrow's a new day. If you don't have time, tomorrow's a new day. And you can't just say that each time either. Oh, tomorrow's a new day. I got no time today. Because it never happens either.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
any moment in time, you can stop. Right now, I can stop what I'm doing right this second. I can pray. I can open up the Scripture. I can open my Bible up and I can read about what's going on. And whatever I read, it's going to apply to my life somehow. So with that being said, I'm going to change our closing challenge here, Jimmy. I'm sorry. I know this is your territory and you are usually all on top of this. But I'm gonna say, here's a challenge for everybody listening. Pause, open your Bible, read about what's going on. And whatever's in your life right now, just put it on pause and read. Read something from the Bible. Read some Scripture. Find a Bible plan, find whatever, or just open it up and start reading. See what happens. And I think when you do that, you will find aligning your life and your priorities will be made abundantly clear, because the Bible teaches us the importance of family, leading your family, and how you should lead your family. So we should always be looking at our little manual, if you will, of how to do that. And that's the best way. So that's your challenge this week, is to open the Bible at some way, sometime, and get something from it. And see, and you know what? Report back. DadSchoolPodcast.com. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I got Porky Pig there. DadSchoolPodcast.com. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you read and how it changed your life this week. We would love to hear that.
Yeah. Just the simple perspective shift. That's all it can take sometimes.
Simple I can't say that word. Simple shift.
There you
go. Closing thoughts. Be present. We didn't say that. Be present.
Yeah. Do the things.
Do the things. There you go. All right. Till next time. This is Dad School Podcast. Josh and Jimmy. Talk to you later.